Hey everyone, it is Evan here from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, August 1st. We are intraday right now, and this is our weekly trade ideas video. Every Wednesday, we bring you about a half a dozen or so names that we are paying attention to that are on our watch list that you may find interesting. We got half from our watch list, half from the lists over at Investors Business Daily. So let's jump right into it here with the major averages. Now, if you watched our midweek video yesterday, just our market analysis video, I am not so excited to be an aggressive bull right now. In fact, I am short-term cautious and really just sort of want to sit on my hands. And for the scope of this video, we're still going to look at long ideas. It doesn't mean that we can't still build a watch list. Generally during these times, I just look for stocks that are holding up well. I may not be actively wanting to trade them today specifically, but over the next couple of days, if the market can start to firm up a little bit and show some evidence of that, then some of the names that we'll talk about in this video are candidates that I will be looking for potential opportunity to the upside. So first things first though, if you are looking for some short exposure, I do not short individual stocks. I tend to just go right to the inverse ETFs for the major averages or for sector specifics. The Qs, for example, here, they are holding below multiple levels. They've broken below multiple levels of short-term support, and they continue. Most recently was today's highs. Prior support in here. Well, first things first, it was resistance back here in early June or mid-June, right in this 178 level, just about into 178. That acted as resistance. We broke out from it in early July. It acted as support on 2 occasions. We recently broke down through it, and now you can see we tested it again and is acting as resistance so far. So for the Qs, potentially a little kind of bear flag here. If you are looking for that short exposure, obviously we have the Fed on deck later today and still many earnings to come out, so pay attention to those catalysts, but a little kind of aggressive short setup there if you are interested in that. The IWM, this was a short idea, trade idea in last week's video. We talked about a potential right in here, it was on this day here on Wednesday, we talked about a potential kind of bounce up, failure, and break below this support to trigger a short. This was last Wednesday's video. That's exactly the plan that we followed. So we got short here on Friday. We continue to hold a short position here in the Russell 2000. And based on the action over the past 2 days here, it looks like we can trail down our stop just a bit to about 166 and change, 167 or so, and see if we can get a follow-through move lower. So those are a couple of short ideas if you're looking for that exposure as things are a little bit, as there's some cross currents and some shifting in momentum to the downside. So with that, let's now look at some long ideas. Again, these aren't necessarily meant to be jumped into today, but they're names to pay attention to. So first thing is, first on my watch list is YEXT YEXT. It's a smaller cap company here, software play. And if we look here just at the long-term uptrend, of course, you can see this monster uptrend that it's been in for really all of 2018. It was basing out early on in the year, and then it really started to launch higher. It's almost doubled in just the past several months. Well, if we zoom in just a little bit here, what we saw was most recently this high volume 20% one-day move here to new all-time highs. Since then, it has pulled back about 4 or so days. Volumes dried up, and now it's starting to perk back up. So a little bit of a potential bull flag here. Again, kind of a nosebleed momentum candidate, a little of an under the radar name. So I think this is one that if you are looking for some long exposure, if you think the market can hold up here, or if you're just trading individual stocks on a standalone basis, I'd pay attention to this on a move above, say, 2240 or so. Next up, we have ZGNX. So this is one, again, that I'm just stalking here, not quite ready yet, but this is a healthcare name. This has been a nice performer so far this year. It really emerged out of this multi-month, almost over a year sideways range here, and it just broke above it in the past several weeks at the start of July. We had this nice push all the way up to north of 60. It's since pulled back very slow, very methodically here. Again, kind of a flag formation here, and it's not ready yet. It hasn't proven that it's ready to start its move back to the upside, but if it can start to take out the upper end of this trend line here, $59, $60, some of you guys that like to wait a little bit longer up at $62, this is a name that I would be paying attention to. So those are two from my watch list. The next three come from our partners over at Investors Business Daily. You can see the link to the lists to get access to these stocks here in the description of this video. The first is PACOM. I know this one's probably hitting a lot of the news here today, but it is breaking out of this multi-week, multi-month sideways range here. So this was consolidating just under its all-time highs for the past couple of months. It just made this nice move above resistance, clearing to new highs here, heavy volume coming in. Not advocating chasing this today necessarily, but it is a fresh momentum push to new highs here, and it is something where if we do get a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a flag that develops here, that's something that I think is worth paying attention to. Next up, we have GRUB. This is one that we've featured certainly before. This has been a leader now for some time. It broke out here just last week with this high volume move, 23% all the way up to 140. It has since pulled back. It has retraced about 50% of this move now, and you can see it's trying to stabilize at some of these fast moving averages. So very similar kind of pattern here to some of these other names we just looked at. We got this nice, nice relative strength, strong performer over the past couple of months. Recently broke out, it's pulling back, and now this is something for you pullback traders to pay attention to on this potential retest or for a higher low to get put in. Finally, we have PEN, also from IBD's list here, and this is one that really, again, strong performer over the past couple of months, certainly for 2018. It topped out north of 160. It's pulled back, and now you can see it's trying to put in some structure here right around this 140 level. It's trying to base out, put in some type of higher low here, and then potentially lift back up and make a run for these highs. That's the setup. That's the idea that I would be looking at for PEN. Hasn't quite cleared through some of this chop here. You can see the fast moving averages are starting to curl back up, but if we get a little bit more of a definitive move through this 146 level, start to see some volume come back in, get these moving averages turned around, and we could quickly start to get a trend resumption back up towards the prior May-June all-time highs. So those are a few ideas. Hopefully those are helpful for you for your watch list and some things to think about. Remember, you don't have to trade every day. If this is not the environment for you, take the couple of weeks off, wait until it is, come back. The market will always be here. But hopefully these names are good. Again, check the description of this video for IBD's links. And if you like these names, we're trading them every day. You can check out our swing trade alerts over at the Trade Risk. Thanks so much and have a good day.